There. 2,
1.
Cheers. Salud. All right. Welcome, everybody, back to Mud Talks episode 9, but the first episode coming back. Super excited to have B Wills here. Francisco.
That's right.
Francisco, I'm going to have you take over.
Yeah. How's y'all doing, man? We over here trying to kick it off and do it with style, Bruce Lee style. You already know how it is. We got our boy B Wills out here in the building. And, man, I can't wait to have you guys listen to some of the things we're going to talk about, man. It's going to get nice, man.
100%.
We're trying to put the city on top, Toledo, Ohio, for those who don't know. And this is what it's about, man. Mud Talks, it's all about Toledo, Ohio, and its people. B Wills, man, what's going on with you, brother?
Oh, man.
It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
100%.
Nice to meet you.
For sure. First off, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Definitely
Thank you for
that.
coming on, man. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. It's all love, man. It's all love. I'm happy to be here, man. Talk to me.
I need to tell us about yourself before we even go into this. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Toledo, of course.
Okay.
Born and raised in the Old West End.
Okay.
Nice.
Shout out to Glenwood, always. I'm an entrepreneur. Most people know me for music.
Okay.
I'm a hip-hop artist.
Okay.
As well as a radio personality. I've been on radio for about 5 years over at the Juice 107.3 with my own radio show.
Very
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm a sneaker designer. I have my own shoe.
You dabble in everything, man.
As much, I'm a hustler, man.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I see
Jack of all
that.
trades.
Yeah.
Whatever I can get into, man, that's legal.
That's
legal these
Gotta
days.
throw that in there. Yeah.
Got to.
That's
you
a
know
little
what I mean?
disclaimer.
Yeah.
Never know who's watching. No, but whatever I can do to positively push forward.
Yeah.
That's why I'm definitely into it, man. I want to get my hands on it.
100%. And that's the whole premise of this show is getting to know people who are having a positive impact on the city or are doing things like you who are doing multiple things, all in positivity, all trying to push things forward and to better the city in whatever avenue is best for you, right? Love it.
Big Wills, let me ask you this, man. Yes. Is your family from Toledo originally, like grandma, grandpa, or are these people from somewhere else?
Well, this is going to answer a lot of people's question about something.
Yeah.
My mom's side, they're originally from my understanding, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay.
Which is why I'm a Michigan fan.
Okay. All right. He very clearly said that.
A lot of people always like, yo, you from Ohio. How
Right,
are you?
right.
Ever since I was a kid, my uncle, rest in peace, my Uncle Jerry, he would always take me to Michigan games.
Okay.
Nice.
Take me to spring games and always go up to the big house.
Yeah.
And I never understood why my family on my mom's side has such a love for Michigan, but I actually just found this out a few years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Okay.
But so my mom's side is from up there. My dad's side is from here in the city.
Oh, they're from here.
Okay.
Grandma, great grandma, all them people.
From my
here.
understanding, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you've been here all your life. Your family's been here all their lives, except for on your mom's side.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
from
my
Michigan.
mom, they're from there, but they all migrated here.
Okay.
Before my mom was born.
Oh.
And so
got
my
it.
mom is from here. You know.
So
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
So y'all deeply rooted in Toledo,
right? And then, but mid '90s, the majority of my mom's side of the family moved to Atlanta.
Oh wow.
So a lot of them are down there. My dad's side is up here.
Okay.
So all of my spring breaks, summer vacations,
you had fun.
I would always go.
Yeah,
there.
I was just about to ask.
We're not gonna ask what kind of fun you had, but you had fun.
Oh man, as far back as I can remember, man. Shout out to Atlanta. It's like my second home. So.
Very nice, very nice, man. So tell us about the radio gig, man. Tell us about that. What are
that's
you
what I
doing
wanna
there?
know
How
more.
long you been doing that? What's it like? I've always wanted to be a radio personality.
Yeah.
What's that like?
You are
man?
now.
know
Look, you're
what?
a radio.
You are.
Look,
You are.
he's on radio.
There you go, man. You're here now. You know what? It was I didn't have a record in broadcasting, no degrees, didn't go to school for it, nothing like that. It was literally a chance I was given from shout out to Charlie Mack over at the Juice 107.3. I was already doing my thing with music. I already had my records being played on air. And the Juice was always a station that I had a relatively great rapport with.
Yeah.
It was days I would literally just go to take them orange juice and donuts, just thank you for playing my records.
Yeah.
Because a lot of local cats wouldn't get their records don't get played on the radio.
Wow.
And I was one of the very few. And so I just always kept that rapport and showed love, just the kind of guy I am. And one day, Charlie just hollered at me. Was like, yo, what you think about doing radio?
Yeah.
I think you'd be great for it.
Nice.
You give me the opportunity to anything, I'm going to tell you I can do it. Until I'm literally shown that I can do anything in my mind.
Yeah.
So, ran with it, and here we are 5 years later. It's
nice.
great, man.
Very nice.
Juice 107.3. Catch me on Saturdays.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
So you still doing your thing. Charlie Mack, what's he doing now?
Oh, man. He's one of the greatest real estate agents that you'll find in the area.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if you know this, but Charlie's on the team, man. We're on the same team.
Hey,
it's funny how the world works because none of this
Crazy,
was
right?
super crazy. But he's a super cool dude. I want to have him on. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about having him on as well.
That man has so many stories. I can only imagine.
Charlie, you can watch this.
Charlie is Toledo. You know.
Yeah,
he's also my youngest daughter's godfather as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
man, there's some history there. Oh man, the world works. It's crazy the way everything works, man.
100%.
So he gave you your chance, and here you are still running with it.
100%.
Beautiful,
100%.
man. How's the radio gig work? Like, what is it? What's a typical day there entail?
Typical day now would be just me going over the playlist, seeing what's going to be played at what times. Maybe a couple songs I might throw something else in because the system automatically puts songs in itself. But for the most part, finding what current news is going on, whether it's that day or whatever. With me being on just Saturdays now, I usually try to get a broad overview of what happened through the week.
Right.
Catch people up to things. Everybody doesn't really watch the news per se no more. A lot of stuff is on the phone. So try to give people, up to date on media. I try to stay away from rumors. Yeah. Being an entertainer myself.
Right.
Yeah. I just don't like getting too messy into people's lives. Like, we don't know what's real and what isn't these days.
Let me ask you this, man. What's the radio like now as opposed to what it was, let's say, early 2000s or late 90s, where the radio was a major thing for me growing up? Like, this such and such a song come out, you want to, things like that. I mean, what's it like now, though?
You would wait for the song to come on, and you hit record on the tape, and that's how.
Is that okay? How old I am.
Yeah. I don't know what. Whoever did that. Yeah.
I did it too.
That's how you made your mixtapes, man.
Right.
And I was just asking that because everything changes, and I'm sure the radio game changes too. And how does that affect even local artists?
You know what? It's changed greatly because, back in the day, that was, like we all know, that was the way to really hear music.
Right.
You couldn't just pop in a phone or nothing like that. Like, you had to literally wait to hear your song.
Yep.
And you would wait by the radio as long as it took.
I mean, if your song came out on the radio, you made it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Nowadays, your song can be on YouTube.
Forget the radio.
You feel me? That's
forget the radio. You can. There's SoundCloud. There's this. There's that. There's a lot of mediums. So people don't look at it the way they used to, where that was the indication that you made it.
Right.
Your song was on the radio. You made it. Like, it's over. Everyone heard the song.
And you know what? The thing, I think, how it affects artists now is artists, with the way technology is now, it's made it, to in a sense, a little more simple for artists as they would think. So a lot of the out the trunk hustle that would happen back in the day, that's not the thing now. I'll just put it on YouTube. I'll just artists really don't realize how much radio still to this day, believe it or not,
it's still influential.
A huge.
It's still a thing.
You can YouTube and all of that will make you a star and whatever the case. Believe it or not, radio can still make you a household name.
Wow. Yeah.
Because you think about how many times you've gotten in a car and you've already known the words to a song that you really don't even care for, or just you know the melody. You know this is not a song that's on your actual playlist on your Spotify or your Tidal or nothing like that.
Yes.
How do I already know this song? Subconsciously, it was the radio.
Wow.
Believe it or not, whether your phone was dead that day, you forgot the aux cord in the house, it's going to happen. You're going to come across it somehow.
As a radio personality, what's your advice to those up-and-coming artists from Toledo that want to get their songs up there?
The biggest thing that artists can do, and I try to tell them all the time, is first, make sure all the DJs in the city is familiar with your record.
Right.
Make sure, because a lot of artists want to just put out a song, and if they homies in the hood like it, oh, yeah, it's ready to go on the radio. It's not. It's 100% not. Number one, the radio, we do not clean or edit your song for you. Make sure before you leave the studio, you have a clean version of the record that you actually want to push.
Yeah.
Make sure you've put it in the DJ's hands and went to the clubs and see the reaction that the people give you. And give it time.
Give it time.
It doesn't matter how hot your record is. If people are in an environment where they're used to records they know, then that one record comes in that they're unfamiliar with. Yeah. It's not going to hit like that.
So
at first, so just give it time to marinate, give it time to work itself, because people at the stations, we are aware of what is and what isn't going on. And
you're
also,
in a daily.
Bingo.
You're in a daily.
And know your demographic as well as far as what station, because every station is different. Yeah. Right now, the Juice, we more so cater to, hip hop from maybe the 90s, 2000s, and current R&B.
Yeah.
And older R&B.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
they're not doing a lot of the up to latest hip hop music then.
No, not as much.
Is
no. Certain records, certain Chris Brown records, Alicia Keys, certain, you know what I mean? It's
why is that? What's up with
the demographic more so just changed with the station. Wanted to go with a different approach. Just evolution for the most part.
Gotcha.
Most people have grown with the station, with it being the only local state,
locally owned station. To perhaps keep that crowd.
100%. I would say so. And this is my opinion. You know what I mean for sure. But I would say that's probably what it is.
Is there any politics as far as like what music is being played, what the lyrical content is?
Not at
for the local rappers. Like you have an 18-year-old. Hey man, look, I got a hot record. I want you guys. Do you guys look at lyrics? Obviously, they can clean it up, but I mean, the content is still there.
You know
what? Look at that.
Not as much because no, I wouldn't say so. Again, we don't really play too many local artists.
Okay.
Also, not necessarily just because of us, but just because a lot of local artists actually don't go the right route about getting their record out here to begin with.
This is a beautiful conversation that I want to stay on because this may help some local artists who are looking to do something. Right. And what I wanted to intervene and say is it's work. It sounds like it's work because I'm going to just compare it to this podcast for a second. This podcast isn't just us talking to this.
Right.
There's a behind the scenes. There's editing. There's getting everything set up. There's chopping it up. There's putting it out. There's more than just us having this conversation. People only see this conversation. Now, with a local artist making that track, making sure that it's edited so that you can have radio play, making sure that all the DJs have access to it so the DJs know it's out there, seeing people's reactions so they know what the crowd thinks. Like the crowd is going to tell you if your music's good or not.
Bingo.
It's not your decision. It's the crowd's. But the crowds can't get it unless you do the editing, unless you put it in the DJ's hands, unless you make all that happen.
100%.
And I think a lot of artists that are trying to make it are more only focused on the content, which is great. By the way, you have to have good content. Otherwise, you got nothing. But there's more to it than just the content.
Bingo.
And I think locally you got to – I think you should try to blow up locally before you try to blow up on
100%.
YouTube or try to blow up on whatever. Like that's –
you have to.
Yeah. So it just sounds like it's more work. And people got to put in the work for it.
I feel like the biggest misconception is the minute you start doing something you like, you think, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
And if you don't go the extra mile of that fun, like just us talking, okay, so no, who set this up?
Yeah.
Well, do we meet every other day or whatever? If you don't put that work in, guess what? It's just going to be fun, and that's that.
Yeah.
There's
a big difference between a business and fun. Yeah.
You're not going to elevate, and that's something that I feel like local artists should think about. Like, okay, you got to go above and beyond the Call of Duty. Not just put a record, but now what? Now you got to go hustle. You got to talk. You got to be approachable. You got to approach
everything.
People. You got to be social.
Everything.
You can't just be like,
it's a whole package, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Some people only talk to you when they're drunk. You know, that's a fact.
Sure.
And they sober. They don't talk to you. They see you on the street like,
no.
they got a record. It's sweet, but they don't have the personality to approach you and say, hey, man, da-da-da, you know?
One of my favorite slogans, I mean, is your network is going to be your net worth.
Oof. Yeah.
That's good. That's good stuff, man.
There's no way around it. It's going to show in the results, no matter. I mean, think about it. We just watched. Did you guys watch the NBA All-Star game?
I did not.
I didn't get a chance, man.
It's not that I didn't get a chance. I just did. I haven't watched sports. I'm a weird cat, and I don't watch sports.
So
no. I'm just so people know. I don't even really watch sports
he's
like
not
that.
Weird at all.
I'm not weird at all. That's a lie. I'm super weird, and I'm okay with it. But no, I didn't catch it.
but okay. So for instance, we're all familiar with Steph Curry then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Greatest shooter in NBA history.
Yeah.
We all see the crazy shots that go up. Half the time he's not even looking.
Right.
It all goes in. But like you said, how many videos have we seen of him actually putting in the work to get the point to where he is?
There it is.
You know what I mean? So just stop paying attention for artists, man. You can't just look at the end result and be like, oh, I can. No. Even with just a podcast or being on radio. People will sit and think, I just need a camera, and they get on. When you get in front of a microphone, it's different than what you thought.
Yeah.
You think too hard on what not to say. You don't want to sound corny. You don't want to sound
right.
It's like okay, wait, how do I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it all comes from work, trial and tribulation. You know what I mean? Trial and error.
If you look at some of the earlier podcasts that I did, like compared to now, like everything, it's a small evolution. And it's an evolution that you'll keep seeing when we're 100, 200, 500 episodes in.
Yeah,
for sure. But you can't skip from the first podcast to the 500th podcast. You can't do that. We have to put in the work. We have to do these. Like anything that you do, you're not going to see the results right away.
Sure.
The long term, you got to just keep putting in the work. The results will come on their own if you keep putting in the work. Agreed. Like that's how I see it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I have to mention this. I love your shirt, by the way.
Thanks, man.
for sure.
Shout out to Toledo too. That's
Toledo.
That's a great
Yeah.
Now moving forward, you're also a musician.
Oh, for sure.
Well, tell us about that. What's going on?
Oh man. Well, I took some time away from music for actually a few years. You know, I got married.
Right.
Settled down.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
For sure.
I am 100% now back to music full time.
Back in the lab.
Yes, my latest record, Lamar's Pain, is actually playing on radio in about 12 different states at the moment.
Nice.
So
nice.
that just released in December.
Very
so
nice.
it's making its rounds right now, which is funny because that wasn't even a record I was thinking of pushing as my
Is it a whole
single.
album?
No, that's just actual. It was a single.
Like a single.
One single? Okay.
Yeah, it just happened to catch wind of the radio.
Okay.
You know, shout out to DJ Big Lou, the mayor. He was the first to break that
Very
on radio.
nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
And
can we link that in? Is there a way that we can link that in? We'll have that linked in, so check it out down below.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And you know what? The new project. This is what end of February, March. The new project will be dropping.
Very nice.
So this will be my first full-length project that people have heard from me.
How'd you get into hip hop, man? How'd you get into that?
I've always loved just music, period. I remember as a kid, you know, my mom would just play all these different artists, and it was just so many different sounds. Like, to this day, Sade is probably one of my favorite artists of all time.
Dope.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I was in love with that as a 5-year-old.
As a 5-year-old, you grew conscious on music. You're like
100%.
this. Okay, I like this. I like this vibe.
I need a reference real quick. How old are you, by the way? Just
I'm
so
33.
33. I'm 35. So your 5-year-old was around myself. It's
Bingo.
around the same time. Okay,
100%.
cool.
I remember my first time hearing it.
That brought back a memory.
That boy went back in time. He went back in time.
We lived it.
We can say whatever on here, right?
Yeah.
This
It's
is
all
us.
good.
This
Okay,
is
cool.
this is all free.
It
Yeah.
was all right. I was going through my mom's stash of she had like I used to have this crazy fascination with CD covers.
Yeah.
Tape covers.
Okay.
Cassettes.
Yeah.
The art was just always so dope to me.
Yeah.
And the first hip hop record I can ever remember hearing was I came across a song called, I want to say it was Blowjob Betty by Too Short.
Old school.
And yeah, that was the first, and it was just like
So you're 5 years old and you're listening to Blowjob Betty.
bugging. I'm like,
I know. I was in my head. I'm thinking the same thing.
I'm
It was like,
sitting there
oh
like-
man,
but it was
you're not
so
allowed to say this.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. Oh no, I got fucked up. Once it came out, like I got fucked up for that for sure. But you know, it was just a love for hip hop. And then when I would go by my dad's, he was a crazy Tupac fan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and it was just like he would just play like Just So Many Tears so loud, and it was just that.
It's a powerful
and
song.
Then he would play Tony Tone, and
Right.
then like it was just so many different things. I just knew that I loved music. Growing up as a kid, I was a loner for sure. You know what I mean? Before I got into the streets, I was a loner kid.
Right.
You know, extremely smart. I had a full ride scholarship to Ohio State in the 6th grade. Due to scholastics.
Dang. In 6th grade?
Yes, sir.
Damn, man, prodigy.
Wow.
So, you know what
That's
I mean?
a big deal, buddy.
Very
Oh,
big.
That's a super big deal, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. And you know what? I really I was a loner. I remember I had a hard time with navigating getting friends, man. When you're the smartest kid,
Yeah.
not just when you're the smartest kid in the whole Toledo public school system,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to.
They say it's
People
lonely
don't
at the
wanna-
top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was you know what I mean? And I didn't have the coolest of clothing. Didn't have Jordans and
Right.
stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I remember I used to write notes to myself. And like that would be like literally I would take a couple pens, I would write notes to myself, and that would be like how I would pass notes to a friend because I didn't have a friend to pass
Get
notes with.
out of here. You're making me sad, bro.
No, straight up. No,
You're making me sad. I'm going to cry on the podcast,
no,
bro.
it's real.
No,
but
straight
it's
up,
no, I'm messing with you. But like for real though, like that's crazy though. And,
We can-
and it is,
we can
when
relate
your
to that
mentality is,
shit.
yeah, we can,
For real,
we
for
can.
real.
I
It
moved around a lot when I was a kid, and we didn't have the best of money
Straight
to
up.
get the best of clothes. So like I understand the scenario completely.
Yeah.
I 100% understand where you're coming from.
You know what? It led to poems. Like just writing, they were like mean as shit. I had yeah, like I had
mean haiku.
no straight
Fuck
up.
you.
Like
No.
I was like I had dug into like this this Edgar Allan Poe craze.
Yeah.
And,
he's a crazy dude.
Dark and gritty.
Yeah,
he's
crazy dude.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
TikTok, man.
8 Mile comes out. I'm a 7th grader at McTighe Junior High School.
Okay.
And then I seen a couple kids starting to do the battle, like the
Yeah,
battle
yeah,
rap
yeah,
thing
yeah,
before school.
Junior high is known
Those
for
are
these
great.
things.
Yeah.
Everybody is around watching and shit. And
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, I am fucking awesome with. I'm smart as shit.
Yeah.
I'm great with words.
You're already doing poems, which is
Yeah, but
an
I never thought
extension
about,
of rap.
But up
It's
until
all-
that
it's all
point, you
it
haven't
is.
put yourself out there yet.
Yeah.
to this man, I never dreamed of being a rapper.
So,
Ever.
so let me ask you this: you see these kids battling each other.
I can
You're
do it
thinking
better.
to yourself, like, "Man, that ain't nothing. I could do that."
I could do it better, easy, and I did.
So you
and
went in there.
I was great.
Wow.
And that's literally how I got into just writing raps. And I started working at the Mud Stadium when I was 14.
Okay.
Linked up with a guy named Moo Dirt. That's what we call him, Moo Dirt. Shout out
Okay.
to Moo Dirt. He had his own recording studio. He was only a few years older than me, but he had a little rap group.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
they were doing their thing around the city. For
They were doing
our,
things.
Yeah, for our age group. You know, they was really doing their thing. And they were over from the north side. I'm from the west side.
Right, right.
But we clicked up over at the Mud Stadium so tough. He was just like, yo, you should come put down some of your stuff at my
Nice.
studio.
Yeah.
And I like dropped a random mixtape at Woodward that I pray to God nobody still has. And
It's gonna release one day, by the way.
Right.
Everything is always out there.
Everything's
You're
out
like, it's
there.
out there somewhere. Somebody has. You're like, oh, I know him. Hold on, watch
Yeah.
this.
And
Yeah.
then that was during the MySpace era, so
Wow.
it was this one freestyle I did off this Gorilla Zoe joint that was hot, the Hood nigga record.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I did a freestyle off of that, and it next thing you know, it's just like on everybody's MySpace page as they're like,
that was all for
their main
real.
song.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, but chicks can't get jiggy with this. They can, but they can't. So then I would take like Life's Must Be Nice record and keep
Love
his
that
hook,
song.
but then do it like a freestyle.
To that
Nice.
song.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
like a Sierra record, who she was hot at the time.
Right, right,
I
right.
would just spin it and do stuff for the ladies. And you know, that's when this is so funny, true story. My wife, who I've been knowing since I was like 16, right?
Oh, wow.
She just reminded me this the other day. I rapped on her voicemail for her back in the day.
Are you serious?
Dead ass serious.
Damn.
Like chicks, like people
Damn.
really was like, yo, like spit on my voicemail. You know what I mean,
You was
So,
about that life.
however I could get it.
Damn.
Once I realized it worked, then it took, man, it took off from there, bro. I really then BT I mean, a lot of stuff happened in between, but
Yeah.
you know, what I mean, the thing that really blew me up, I guess we could say, especially around here, would be the BET. The 106 in Park going on there.
Yep.
And
And tell us about that, because maybe some
I don't.
people
I
don't
don't.
know.
I don't know.
Tell us
I don't know
the
about
whole
that. Tell me.
BET experience. Tell
Yeah.
us about the
And
BET experience.
before we go into the BET experience, when were you at the Mud Hens? Like, what
Oh,
years were
man.
this?
Okay, so they first opened what? 2001? 2000?
About
Man.
2001.
You
They
going-
were champs in 2002, 2003, somewhere in that era.
Yeah, I remember the championship because we actually
It was a back to back. They had
yeah,
back to back.
They actually let us.
Wow.
They actually drank with us.
Are you
I don't know.
serious?
Can I say? Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I just remember it was
They
like
drank water with
it
them.
was
yeah,
random.
they
Yeah, of
celebrated,
course.
it was champagne bottles that were just left out. and
Yeah,
whatever happened,
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
But no, I remember them winning the championship. I know I got hired the second year that the stadium was open.
I did too, which is
There
when
it
you
is.
walked in, I told you that I think I recognized you
There
from
it
somewhere.
is.
And
Likewise,
I
There it
worked
is.
there for like 6 years. I worked up in the suites. But dude.
sure did.
Yeah. Oh,
Sure.
I'm
There it
telling you,
is, there
I'm
it
telling
is.
you, I know his face. Like,
Yes,
I'm
he
100%
did.
certain
I
of
worked-
it.
Yep, I used to.
100%.
I was helping some of the mentally handicapped workers there.
Okay.
There was a guy named Mike, and it was another young cat. But yeah, like we were doing the ketchup and mustard joints.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, yeah,
Yep.
okay. I
Corey-
was all
Corey
around
was my
that.
supervisor.
Corey, yeah,
right,
I know Corey. Okay,
Right.
yeah, for sure. Okay,
Yep.
thank you, because I've literally
Wait,
this,
you was thinking
this
about
whole
this
time.
the whole-
I'm like, I know
He
this
said it
dude.
when I
I don't
first
know
met him.
where.
He did.
The very first thing I was like, I know your face from
And it's
somewhere.
crazy. You
Yeah,
didn't have the beard.
I didn't. No, this was a
'Cause when
very
you said
young
it-
me.
When you said it, I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, he looks
Yeah.
familiar too.
Yeah.
You guys are silly.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. This is a very different time. Very, very different time.
Mud
So
Hens-
sorry. So
Mud Hens is
yeah.
crazy is what started it off.
Yeah.
Because I remember when, at that time, they were building the Huntington Center.
yeah.
And I remember telling one of my partners, we were in stand 4 downstairs where they
Yeah.
used to do the burgers and shit. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna perform it on that stage
Wow.
one day.
Nice.
To this day,
Very nice.
if I'm not mistaken, I'm still the only hip hop artist from here to ever hit that stage.
Wow.
You've hit that stage too?
100%.
Why? I
That's
feel
dope.
like I don't
That's
know
dope.
anything about life right now. Because why do I not know this?
dope.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Very dope.
awesome, dude.
Well-
Congratulations on that, by
no,
the
thank
way.
you,
That's
man.
Yeah, yeah,
phenomenal,
for sure,
man.
for
Yeah, I
sure.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
But tell us about the BET.
Yeah,
Tell us about
yeah.
BET.
Sorry, we got sidetracked with the mud heads
it's all
real
good,
quick.
it's all
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
it's all
Please,
good.
please. Yeah.
So, how should I? Where can I start?
How did it? What is the incident that made you get on there? Like, what happened?
Yeah,
I need to know that.
So I've always been a nerd, of course, as far as, anything that you want to know, the opportunity to learn it is there. You know what I mean? So I just got to researching every possible avenue to get on every TV show, every big stage I could find.
Where was
you
doing
did
his
your
research.
You did your homework.
Without
you
a
did
doubt.
the work.
For sure. Mind
You
you,
did the work.
I was 17 in New York by myself. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Passing out CDs, and I would literally save whatever money I had, and I would catch Greyhound buses to whatever city I could have enough money to go to, New York, Detroit, wherever. I would get a hotel for that night. I would go ahead and take the CDs, put them on the cars. I wouldn't owe them to get in the club.
Yeah.
I
Right.
would make sure the CDs would be sitting on their car.
Right.
You know what I mean? They could throw them away, whatever. Somebody's going to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was just how the hustle went. 2009, I dropped one of my first big mixtapes. That was with DJ Big Lou the Mayor, and that got me some national recognition.
Nice.
And
This is
from
amazing
there,
stuff, by
I
the way.
dropped another mixtape. Shout out to DJ Mr. King. That one was called Beverly Scissorhands. And that was one of my biggest, mixtapes. Now, during this time, what I would do is I never, even though I'm from here, I tried not to cater a lot of my music to just here.
Yeah.
I noticed that was a very big issue for a lot of my people before
You're
me.
constraining yourself.
Wait. Do you feel like what? What did you feel like if I mentioned Toledo too much, or if I'm?
No, if I
Well, what
only
did you mean?
worry about being someone here.
Oh, okay. So you were
That's-
thinking I want to be bigger than just here.
if
flat
you,
out.
if you change your
Flat out.
style to only appease people here, it's going to prevent your growth from
100%.
going around everywhere,
I mean?
which
There's-
is what you want.
Did you start to see like some sort of trend or pattern where people were doing that and therefore they weren't crossing over to?
That was always, to this day, that's still the pattern.
Oh wow.
It was always, people were so complacent and cool with just being a somebody here. Oh, I can get in the club free here. Everybody know me. The chicks know me here.
They felt like they made it without leaving the city.
That was it.
I got
That
you.
was so watching that.
understood.
Because there's a lot of talent here, by the way.
100%.
There's a lot of talent,
There
but
is
it's
talent.
not like refined to go large scale, to do radio, to do
Without a
everything.
doubt. It's the whole
But the
business
raw
aspect.
talent, the business
It's-
aspect, that's the best way to word
it's
that.
the work.
Yeah.
So I knew
Yeah,
that if I,
también. Yeah.
I knew with the music, I had that on lock. I knew if I took over and corrected all the mistakes of everybody else on the business aspect, I can't lose.
Mm.
So I would go to different states doing showcases. Showcases, you can perform for $100 and win $500 at the end of the night. I would go down to Atlanta and do 4. They would have literally to this day right now. They still do at least 3 to 4 showcases a week.
For real?
I'll go down there and pay
Wow.
$50, walk out with $1,000 one night. Next
How,
night,
how does
I'll-
that work? You go in there, you pay $50 to perform.
You pay however much they are asking for.
And how
to
do you get
perform
the
it.
money? Oh, because you're
No,
selling your
it's
records. or
cash.
what? Oh,
No. Like if you're the best performer that night at the showcase,
oh.
that's what you win. No
Oh,
trophy.
Is there a way if
oh.
so like if I can I just invest $50 and you go win and then
right. If somebody
got
would
a
have
strategy real
if
quick.
somebody would
Yeah.
have invested in me back then,
Yeah.
oh my God. But I was literally making a living off of that for
Wow.
some time. And long story short, my daughter was born. I got out the streets, and
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
both of those things.
thank you. I appreciate that. I had I went that transition that transition going legit isn't always as easy. Me being young, I didn't save up my paper like that. You know what I mean? So
You live and you learn, man. Like, yeah, but you have to go
Sure.
through your little trials to understand, and especially when you're not even faced. You don't know how to prepare until you're faced with the situation,
Right.
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh. But if you're smart, you learn and you don't go through it twice.
right.
You go through it once, and we all go through our stuff.
For sure.
But you learn so you don't go through it again.
Without a
Yeah.
doubt, without a doubt. I had one manager at first that was from here. I love her to death. She'll always be like a mother figure to me. Shout out to Embrace. She had my back like no other for sure. You know what I mean? I ended up going a different route. One of my partners at the time was my really good friend. kind of fast forwarding a little bit, but this is around 2000, late 2010. Okay. One of my partners, I just said, forget it. I made him my manager. Right before then, I had just performed on tour with Wiz Khalifa at the time.
Nice.
And his best friend was...
Wait, you performed with Wiz?
We're talking during Cushion Orange Juice.
That's my favorite Wiz Khalifa era. Are you serious?
Did you see him when he came here at the Zodiac back in the day?
No, man.
I remember when he came,
dude,
but I didn't go see him.
I liked Wiz more
nice.
Mixtape days than I liked him
his
mixtapes. And everybody's like, who is this? And I'm like, you understand. He was hungry. Like, it was a different
Cushion
time.
Orange Juice had just came out.
That was such a mellow... It was right for all the... wrong reasons, maybe, but it was a great.
Time was perfect.
Yeah, it was a good time. Great timing on that. Yeah,
that timing was
sorry.
amazing.
So you performed with him?
Oh yeah. I've been blessed to open and perform with.
Very nice.
So many people before I even got my main opportunity. Yeah. But I had the manager, whatever. That was my partner, and because I had seen Wiz, his best friend was like. He wasn't a business kind of guy. He was just his best friend, but he made him his manager. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah. Right.
Dude's my manager.
Right.
We're gonna roll like this. And it was cool, me and the homie MGK, we toured for a second together.
Nice.
That was cool. And then some street stuff happened, and my manager at the time was just kind of like, you know what, this isn't my thing, which I totally respect and understood. He went on his way. And... so, long story short, I get a call one night. He calls me out the blue. We were not talking at this point. At the time, I was upset and I was hurt.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, what's up, man? What you want? And he like, BET about to call you.
Ooh.
I said, man, get the fuck off my phone.
Ooh.
I hang up. Mind you, at this time, I'm trying to think about where my next dollar going to come from. I vowed not to go back into the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The lady I was with at the time, we were butting heads because, I might have not been producing the way I should have been at the time. And I get a call from a 347 number out the gate. I know that's New York. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, fuck. I pick up. Yeah, this is such and such from, 106 and Park, senior writer over here, BET.
Wow.
Instantly, I don't say, hey, hi, nothing. I just say, hey, man, whoever this is, stop playing on my phone for real.
He was defensive.
I swear to God.
I hang up.
Uh-huh.
There's no possible way you're going to tell me that you found me from Toledo. I mean, don't get it twisted. I am traveling. I'm doing my thing.
You're doing things.
But
to land.
But your mentality is like, yo, why would you call me?
He's calling me from 106 and Park, and I know how. I already did my research on how to even get on there. They had a Wild Out Wednesday segment.
Yeah, I remember that.
3 people come on, perform. Yep. Everybody text vote. Whoever gets the most votes, they win. Cool. You had to go to Washington, D.C. You had to go through all kinds of huge process, and it took money.
Oh.
You're calling me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Calls back. He said, hey, man, you about to miss a chance of a lifetime. I said, all right, well.
You listening.
Explain to me how you heard about me so I can know that this is for real.
Yeah.
He said, exactly 1 year ago, you went and performed at a showcase in Columbus. I said, okay, true. I got to thinking. I'm like, yeah, I did. He said, okay. After the showcase, there was a little hole-in-the-wall club that everybody went to. Well, a few of the artists had went to.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the place. To this day, I remember it. It was man, we talking like, bar might have been not too much bigger than this room. No bullshit. Yeah. There was 3 people at the bar. There was a few artists. And everybody was, somebody mentioned like, yo, somebody should perform or something. Get this party going. Everybody's like, man, I ain't about to perform in this shit. Like, fuck, ain't nobody in here. Like, no. So I made a joke. I said, all right, I'm going to rock this bitch like it's MSG, like it's Madison Square Garden. Fuck it. I don't know if it was liquor at the time. I don't know what it was.
Whatever it was, it happened.
I performed, right?
Oh, shit.
One of the people at the bar happened to be a lady that worked for BET that was in town for the holidays or some shit like that.
It's crazy how the world works, man, at all times.
Watch me perform and kept tabs on me for a whole year. He sent me the whole email thread. They watched every time I uploaded videos, everything. And it just fucked me up. Like, yo, y'all been watching me this whole time.
Yep.
Go ahead. We're going to change. I mean, go ahead and they gave me a date. How you get here, where you stay at, shit, that's on you. Yeah. We're going to put you on TV. Went on there, did my thing. First time, I win. It's like the greatest moment leading up to it. The whole city is going crazy.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this is before we had any sports figures on TV like that.
Yeah.
Nobody from here had been on TV since Jim Jackson at this point.
True.
So this is, you know what I mean? This is big shit.
Big deal. Yeah.
And a rapper at that.
Yeah.
Like, no. And I win. Totally cool. Dope. Everybody's going crazy, right? The next night, I'm back working on Glendale at Jet's Pizza.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's serious.
How'd that feel, man? How'd
Crazy.
that feel? You were just on BET. Now you're doing the pizza thing.
Like,
What's going through your mind?
I'm at this. It didn't hit me until after I win on BET. My phone is going crazy. Everybody's losing. Everybody's losing their shit. They losing their shit back home. Everything is going great. They give me a book and a Keisha Cole CD, and say, "All right, have a good day." And then I got to thinking, I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's it." The next day, I'm at Just Pizza. A person comes to me. I swear to God, talks to me. They're ordering their pizza. I happen to be at the fucking register. I told them, "Don't put me at the register today. Don't do it." I said, "Man, you look just like." Nah, he wouldn't be in here. He was on TV last night. Fucked my soul up. I said, "Man, what?"
Damn, dog.
It was the greatest, most miserable point ever. At the same time, because Toledo
You
has
got
a thing
catapulted up and just like fell
like that.
in a day.
Like that. Toledo, if Toledo has a thing to where if you're seen anywhere, if you're seen on TV, for instance, or anything, magazine, anything, and you don't stay,
Yeah.
you're done. I mean, I guess that's with people in general. Period.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're not on Media Takeout, if you're not on Shade Room, if you're not on certain avenues often, then you fell off.
You
Yeah.
fell off.
But damn, the next day, I'm like,
Yeah.
shit,
Oh my God.
fuck, I like pizza too. Shit, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So no,
It's too
straight
quick.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cool part was they called me back months later. Now, mind you, after that, it gave me some notoriety, so now I can get paid a lot more when I go to these other bookings.
Yeah.
BET
Negotiating power.
BET calls me back in the spring, says, "Hey, are you familiar with our All-Star show?" I'm like, "Yeah." The All-Star show is their biggest show of the year on 106 and Park. They take the top 3. Now, think of how many Wednesdays it is in the whole year.
In the year, and they take the top ones.
Top 3.
Top
yeah,
3.
top 3
I happen
at that.
to be one of the top 3.
Wow.
Bring me
Nice.
on for the All-Star show. The shit is insane. Oh, man. Do we got time?
Man, we got time.
We got time.
We're chilling.
So,
we're drinking.
so this podcast has no time limit.
All
I want people to
Yeah.
tell their stories.
Yeah.
There's no limitation. There's no nothing
Tell
on
us,
this.
man.
We
Talk to us,
we
dog.
just want to know, man. Like
People
for real.
don't have any idea how important it is to be strategic.
Yeah.
So I get the call about 106 and Park to go do the All-Star show. I'm sitting in my mom's bathroom at the time. They're like, "Yo, what song are you going to do?" I'm like, fuck. Now, the thing about 106 and Park, even though it's like BET, it was still nothing but teenagers in the crowd.
Yeah, right.
And at the time, you know, I'm strip club king. I'm out here.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I going to rap to these kids?
Yeah.
Like, you know. And I had just got a beat that morning from a guy named Sledgerin, which you used to listen to Wiz, who Wiz used to call Sledro.
Okay.
He had made I got a beat from him that morning. I'm sitting in my mom's bathroom. She had a TV in the bathroom. Why? I don't even know now I think about it.
Didn't realize it
was
until
I
just
need
now.
a TV in my
Yeah.
bathroom now that I think about
It was
it.
posted in the corner.
I need a TV in my
Yeah,
bathroom.
This
Yeah.
is like 2011. It's like it's just up in the corner and shit, sitting there and shit. And it was a commercial. It was on BT, and it said, "BT's #1 rated sitcom, The Game." I said, "Fuck."
I remember that show.
Like, huh? I got to thinking, and I'm like, I had did a freestyle maybe 4 months before that. It was over Jay-Z and Kanye West, the Ham joint.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
And I mentioned something about last season a rookie. This year I'm Derwin Davis. Derwin Davis happened to be the main character on the show, The Game.
Okay.
That line came to my mind after I seen that commercial.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what if I did a song called Derwin Davis? Main character from the #1 sitcom on BET as I'm performing on the #1 episode of the year on BET.
That's
Yeah,
meta as
yeah,
fuck right
yeah,
there. That's meta
yeah.
right there.
How in the fuck can this
Yeah.
not? Let's see.
Yep.
Wow.
Mind you, it doesn't have to be a full song, just a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. Boom.
I tell him, I call him back, I let him know. I sent him the verse that I did. He just replied back, said, what did he say? "I don't think you understand how smart you are." And just laugh out loud. That was the
That's
end of
crazy.
that. Go on the show. This is where shit gets weird. So boom, when you when you get to BET, Oh man, when you get to the studios, it's not like how you would think. It's not like how it looks on TV.
Okay.
TV is fucking amazing with their camera angles and shit.
Right.
We're in
it's
a
like everything.
we're in a CBS building and shit, so it's like Ice-T is down here doing Law and Order down the hallway. Like, nope, real shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's blow. All the artists, we're all in the green room together. So we all perform. It was a guy from Seattle. It was a guy from Dallas. I'm from little old Toledo.
Toledo.
Out the gate, I'm just thinking mathematically, like, if he just get half the people in his fucking city to vote.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We all perform. They come back from a commercial break, and it shows that I'm in third place. All right, that's the ball game. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have all show to vote. All yummy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's voting. And, one of my partners I was with me was like, hey, man, you need to vote. I'm like, man, what if I voted for myself and that happened to be the difference why I won?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, a lot of people would be cool.
Right.
With that shit.
Yeah.
Right. Hell yeah.
Because, mind you, this show, you win.
Fair is fair.
You
shit.
get the money.
Yeah.
And that moment, I just had a proud moment. I was like, man, I don't want to win like that.
Oh.
I want to see how this fate work out. They looked at me like, man, you fucking stupid.
Mm.
Like, something is telling me I don't need to. I'm third place. In my mind, I'm like, I'm probably going to lose. It is what it is. Boom, that's that. So we come back to the next commercial break. One of the lady walks over to me and was like, one of the, I don't know who she was, some kind of executive. She was like, hey, Pooch Hall is tweeting about you right now on Twitter.
Wow.
I'm like, Pooch Hall. She's like, yeah, that's the guy that plays Derwin Davis on the game.
Oh.
So I'm like, word?
That's
I'm like,
dope.
damn, that's what's up.
That's dope.
I'm
That's
here to
dope.
win this
That's
money,
dope.
though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is cool, though.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's what's up.
Stick to the mission.
Yeah.
I could
Not realizing the impact that somebody like that tweeting.
I'm looking at the
yeah.
phone, but I'm not. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, he really is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Whatever.
Come back from the next break. Now I'm in second place.
Oh.
Then she says, same person comes back again. She's like, hey, excuse me, you've done something nobody in history of our show has done. You're the third biggest trending topic worldwide on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
She said, hashtag Derwin Davis is trending right now on Twitter thanks to you right now.
Yeah.
I said, man, what? And I'm just looking at the tweets, and it's just millions.
Wow.
Literally millions.
That's a beautiful feeling.
They're just like, yo,
Also a
dude,
scary one. Yeah.
dude with the
yeah.
mohawk killed it. Dude with all of them wasn't nice. But
Yeah.
the majority of them were.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
You're never gonna get 100%.
So what happened?
I'm bugging. I'm like, all right, this is fucking fire now. This is all right, but I'm still taking the loss. Now it's commercial break. The dude that was winning, man, cocky motherfucker, man. He's so cocky and arrogant. He's doing little shit in front of us. He walks up to one of the producers like, hey, so when I win, do like my dancers come up with me? Or do so I'm just sitting there like
super
There's
arrogant.
always that guy. There's
Super
always that guy.
arrogant.
always
Yeah.
that guy. Oh,
No.
I'm gonna knock his bitch. I'm gonna knock his ass out. I'm gonna knock his ass out in his green room, right? You know what I mean? But I don't want to be that guy though.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Here goes Mr.
They'll be like,
Toledo
oh,
doing Toledo
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't win. You can't win. Yeah.
At all. And yeah, man, it just wasn't gonna work. And so it was Terrence wasn't there that day. It was the girl Roxy and Tyga was guest hosting that day.
Yeah.
And she comes back from break and she says, hey, this is crazy. It's the first time this happened. We got a tie right now for first place. We got to go to an extra break.
Uh-oh.
This is the last chance y'all got to keep voting. As soon
Uh-oh.
as she said that, I said, oh, that's a wrap. I'm in here.
Yeah.
I said, oh, the city working hard for me.
Mentality change
This going
quick.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then I'll be down. I come back from it. She did the one thing that everybody does. Every time I win which I'm grateful for every award I get. I'm grateful for all the accomplishments I have.
Yeah.
They always do this. Now, my name is B Wills. She goes and she's like on live TV, and I love her to death for it. But she says, the winner is, with your percent of votes, from Toledo, Ohio, B Willis.
B Willis.
B Willis.
So I'm like, oh, fuck, she said my name wrong. She said my name. Oh,
She
shit.
said, yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Cameras is on. Smile. Don't think too hard. Smile,
Yep.
smile.
Yep.
Don't forget to say Toledo. Don't forget. You know what I mean? it's so much. Don't forget such and such styled you today.
Yeah.
Such and such did.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was the coolest moment, man. And that's when I got my first big check through music, and everything just took off from there, man. BT put me on my first tour going out West Coast, And then from
Very
there,
nice.
I just built connection after connection on top of still doing my independent showcases, still hustling. But now everybody knows when I go these places, oh, you the guy, because back then I had a mohawk.
Yeah.
People weren't doing it at the time. I was colored. It was crazy. So people were already familiar with just my hair alone.
Yeah.
It got me in a lot of doors. And I was doing my own headlining tours for years straight.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
That's awesome.
Let me ask you
man.
this: how close did it get to signing a deal?
I was signed before.
A major record label.
I was signed for a single distribution deal. And long story short.
Can you speak on it because these are legal? Oh,
No, not because it's legal.
Okay, no, if it,
Not because
it's
it's legal. It's, I will say that there are certain things that every conspiracy theory you hear isn't true. Everything you hear about the music, movie industry, all of that is crazy. But some of things are true.
There are reasons for these theories to be out there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna leave it at that.
Some things may happen for certain reasons.
Yeah.
Some things may not.
Okay.
For certain people that might stand on certain things, have certain beliefs. I stand on whatever I believe in and whatever I stand on, and it's not nothing you can give me that's gonna make me
change that.
Bingo.
Have you ever looked at that
what I mean?
moment when you possibly made the decision and said, "I'm okay with that decision now," or do
100%.
you say, "Damn"? Okay.
100%. I'm forever. I'm proud of myself for doing that. There's a lot of people that would have broken that moment. I mean, like real life. Like, no, your whole life, like, change.
Wow.
Change it right,
Wow.
literally right now.
That's deep.
I'm cool.
That's deep.
You know what I mean? But
I respect you for that.
Thank you.
For real, for real.
And I knew at the end of the day, every hardship I ever had, I knew I was going to be all right. You know, before my grandma passed in 2009, I promised her out the blue, don't know what made me do it. As she's passing away, I promised her in her ear, I'm going to be on TV one day. The next year, I'm on TV. Right after my grandma passes, I meet my biological father. 4 days after him telling me he's my biological father, I find him dead.
Wow.
This is all happening while I'm on TV. I'm rapping. It's the greatest.
You're getting hit left and right with
time.
things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, then my best friend dies, which actually he worked at the Moynihan Stadium. I don't know if you remember Todd Wallace. Worked in the warehouse. Funny white guy with funny laugh. He used to run the warehouse back in the day.
Okay. I feel like it's familiar. I don't want to say yes or no. I'd have to see the face. I'd have to see.
How did you deal with it? Like what helped you through those situations? You're losing people left and right. What got you through that?
That's a tough window.
I mean, you're winning too, but you're also losing.
Yeah.
It's hard to put it in.
I indulged in, when, my pops passed, when I found him, he passed in his sleep. So me and my brother finding him like that, I created a phobia of sleeping.
Oh, wow.
Like literally, I would have to literally take something to sleep.
Oh, wow.
I was literally scared that I would probably die in my sleep. Now, mix that along with already crazy work ethic. I was already, depressed of sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Excuse me, deprived rather, and it was just a bad time. So I mean, there were things I definitely took. There was definitely a dark time in my life. You know what I mean? It was I pushed myself to the edge, and that was actually the reason why I stepped back away from music, because the route that I was going, I was harming myself.
It's interesting that he was able to recognize that, because a lot of people don't recognize that.
Yeah.
They
Some
just
people
keep
get
going
lost in the
down
sauce,
that path.
man. For real.
Yeah. I remember Charlie Mack. Matter of fact, Charlie Mack was one of the main people that would reach out to me random times. Every time he would see me, like, man, please get some sleep. You're gonna kill yourself. He would tell me that all the time. I swear, B, I'm not playing. I would laugh it off like, come on, B, I'm for real, man. You're gonna kill yourself.
So
you know what I mean?
What's the date? 2007, 2008?
This is what 2012. No, 2013, 2014.
Okay, so then when do I meet you? When do I come into your life?
This is then.
This is around that time.
Yeah, this is like at the beginning.
At the beginning of
of that. Yep.
Wow.
And yeah, I had slowed down from music, but that behavior was still coming in, because I'm still recording music. I just hadn't put any out, because I knew the more I put out music, the more I was going to get bigger and bigger, which that is the goal. That is what you want.
Yep.
But everybody doesn't understand what all comes with that.
Yeah.
If your ducks aren't in a row before that attention and all the stuff that comes with that you're going to fry.
You're going to lose your path.
People think people are one-hit wonders and stuff like that because the music business didn't work out. No, they got sucked in. It is so easy to get into that world.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it with my own eyes. I've witnessed it almost happening to me. But, so I was, like, for instance, can I say where we were at?
The agency.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Damn, you made me sound like the feds.
When we were at
Not
the agency.
Not the police. But yeah, hey, look, the agency.
You want to say no? The agency.
No, like, I would literally, no bullshit, every night, I promise you, I'm not lying to you, I would go to bed I would get out the studio about between 5 to 6:30.
Yeah.
I would rest or take a shower, maybe sleep for about 45 minutes, and then go in to the agency. And then come home, get home about 5, nap till maybe about 6:30, 7. I was literally going off of maybe about 8 hours,
Oof.
8 to 10 hours of sleep a week.
That's rough.
A week.
Yeah. It was bad, you know what I mean? So
how long did you work with me?
I was there, 6, 7 years? 6, 7
and
years.
This is and the reason why I'm asking is because I'm very intrigued to where his life takes him after that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I meet him. He's a younger man coming in, all the energy, good vibes, good energy. I mean, I really like this dude. From the moment I seen him, I'm like, man, this dude is so cool, right? He's doing his thing. I didn't know that you were going through all that then, but now it gives me perspective on
For sure.
on everything, and I gain understanding from it. But you work there, all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna work here no more. And this is where I'm like, okay, because I've been there, and I'm older than him. Obviously, I have a different perspective on things, But when he said why he's not doing it, like, I supported him.
For sure.
And tell us about that.
Sure.
Tell us about the process of making that decision, of following your dreams and doing what ultimately will bring you total happiness.
You know what? So, for those of you who don't know, when I was where we were at, everybody looked at that place as that's the end game. Hey, you done made it here. You stay there till you retire. You good. You well off.
Right.
You straight.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about nothing.
And excuse me, and not to down people that think like that, because we
Not
all,
at all.
yeah,
Not at all.
everybody fits where they fit. You feel me? And some of us may or may not fit where we think we may or may not fit till we figure it out. Like, hey, this ain't my fit. So
For sure.
go ahead.
And I would always tell people, like, you are 100% right. This is a blessing for sure.
Right.
Especially for me, mind you, I had no degree. I've never been to college. No background on this at all.
Right.
This was literally me meeting somebody who believed in me and was like, yo,
Very nice.
I think you could make a difference. And you know what I mean?
And
this
you'd
is
be
right
surprised how many people you probably impacted their lives just by being where you were at and helping them. You may not even know. They may not even tell you ever, but because you had that charisma.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
You know what? It's people still to this day that all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Indeed.
If it's not 106 in Park, it's
Real
there.
talk. I'm telling you,
what
because
I mean?
I pay attention. So go ahead, tell us.
I appreciate it. So it got to a point to where my spirit wasn't happy.
Mhm.
I was giving that place all of my time. You know what I mean? I was giving that place pretty much all of me. And I still felt like spiritually I was taking whatever, at the place where we were, there's a lot of emotions and, as I like to call, energy transfers that happen.
Yes.
I could be in a great mood, but you tell me your shortcomings or what you're going through at the moment, that's on my chest because I hurt to see other people hurting. You know what I mean? And I can't do nothing about it. It's not my business. It's not my responsibility. And to hear that for 8 hours straight, every day, and then, you know what I mean? It was one of those things where
it was draining you.
100%.
And you were already physically drained because you're not sleeping well.
Exactly.
On top of that, then you're being drained emotionally.
Exactly. And then I got to realizing how I was, I had just, the point that I got to where I knew it was time to go, I had just been married only for a couple months.
Yeah.
And I got to realize, and I was bringing that energy home.
Ooh.
And at home was my peace. You know what I mean? Like, I had no issues at home at all. But I knew how I felt. My wife would always tell me, like, no, you good. Like, but I knew. Like,
you knew.
I'm not me right now. That's not cool. And you know what? I think everybody has some kind of dream. I really believe it, I feel like certain jobs or certain places that you are will make you feel like, you know what, this is the best I'm going to get. My dream is just too far-fetched, so I'm going to just settle here. You can do that if you're in a good enough space and you're comfortable with that. Cool. I don't knock anybody that's still there or that, you know what I mean? Everything is different for everyone. You know what I mean? For me, I knew what I ultimately wanted to do.
Right.
And I had to make the choice of, if I'm going to actually go for this, I'm going to have to really take this leap of faith. It's going to be scary as shit because I do not know where I'm about to land. I don't have a clue.
It takes a lot of balls to make that move, man.
You know what I mean? I'm just married. I'm the man of my house. You know, at the time, I told my wife that she didn't have to work. She was good. You know, just take care of the crib. I got this. Now here I am some months later. Oh, fuck. This isn't the move that I think most husbands will make, but I think this is the move that I have to make for me to be the best husband I can be down the road.
You're thinking long term.
Have to. It's everything is long game. From the particular song I did on 106 and Park.
Right.
Everything is strategic. 100%.
Very methodical. Like you can't just be making.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like let's say when I walked in this room, you would have said, "Hey B, you're sitting right here." I would have said, "No, let me sit right here," because I would have seen where the camera's placed. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
I can't help it. It's just it's nonstop. And long story short, man, I just took that leap. I had told my wife on lunch, like, "Yo, I can't do it. I'm done. Like I'm done."
Lunchtime. That's when you told her? Like
Lunchtime, I told her that.
Oh, shit.
I got home. She literally said, "Look on the table." And it was my 2 weeks resignation letter that she typed out and told me all I had to do was sign it and take it to work. She typed it up. She did. All I said was on my lunch break, hey, da. When I got home, she typed that shit up.
Now, y'all had kids then at the time?
Yes.
How many kids y'all had?
I had 2. My son was living with his mother, so I had my daughter with me, and she had her 3 daughters. So we had 4 daughters.
So this decision, it's...
You know what I mean? At this time, it's us 2, our 4 kids, in a 2-bedroom townhouse. Ooh. So now this townhouse nice in the motherfucker, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's be realistic, too, here.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are almost preteens at the time, and you know what I mean. It was a lot. I'm real life taking a gamble here, man. Shit worked out.
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting to me to hear him say that because this was a decision that it was made, but it was a team effort of a decision.
100%.
Like it wasn't like, hey, I'm done. Hey, but what about us? Hey, listen, I'm done. No, it was more like, hey, I'm done. You know what? Yeah, you should be done. Let's whatever. Yeah.
Two things with that. You got like a real team. You guys are a team, like for real.
That's awesome.
Like
awesome.
to have somebody in your corner, no matter what, like that. That's like you said, that's a big deal. When you think, like, oh, I'm set at this job. You don't have to do anything. I'll take care of everything. Your mentality's in one place, and then to realize that you're not happy. I'll get to that one here in a second.
Right.
And to have somebody in your corner saying that's more important, you being happy than the job. We'll figure the rest out.
Yeah.
That's hard to find. So congrats on that, man.
She's the GOAT for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you know
congrats for that.
The first decision we made once I stopped working there was, hey, I want to put you through school.
Yeah.
Like she made that decision.
Yeah.
People were always like, yo, you left. We made it together, but had she not done that, I probably would have stayed.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You needed that push.
She gave me that confirmation I needed. And once she did that, oh, no, whatever you want to do, we're doing that first.
Yeah.
Flat out. I owe you that. I don't, but I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would not be the man I'm sitting as right here at this table right now if it wasn't for my wife.
Not only that, what I like about this story is how you both share that vision.
Oh, yeah.
And without a person that can share that vision with you, you might as well be single.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wait a minute, why are you here?
Yeah.
Because like I can do this on my own, but if I have someone that can share that vision with me,
for sure,
man, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Because they're also thinking the long game.
Yeah.
They're not just thinking like, oh, well, yeah, we're gonna be fine. But no, they're thinking like, okay, I believe in you as an individual. Yeah. That's what you've accomplished.
Right.
So therefore, I'm gonna put all my chips here because I believe in you.
Yeah.
You put your chips here and let's go.
Yeah, people will bet on you, but they're not gonna put as many as they would on
No.
they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
It's a selfish world out there.
There's gotta be a balance. There's gotta be a balance. So the second thing that I wanted to touch on, the first one was the teamwork. Like
for sure.
That's crucial. The second one is that I don't know if you had the exact plan per se. But I think the end game and what's really important, a lot of people don't realize, is what's more important than any job, career, or whatever, is truly happiness.
There it is.
And like like legit happiness. And that's like, what do you mean happiness? Like happiness is doing something that you love to do, that you're comfortable doing. Something you can have the greatest career in the world and get paid a tremendous salary and be golden. But every day you walk in and you're like, I have to deal with this every day.
Yep.
And it like, even if you're like, I can deal with it for the paycheck, right? Because I can, and I know this is a great career. Everybody says this is a great career.
Everybody
says, and I can retire from here.
Right.
And you can maybe lie to yourself for a little bit, but it chips away slowly at your soul till where you get to a point where like the balance, the scales tip. And it's like, I'm not happy. So now you're giving away your happiness completely for what a structure or society or people or whatever say is, this is a good move. This is what's right. It might be right for somebody, but if it's not right for you, you shouldn't be in that position. You shouldn't do that. Like, forget the money, forget all that stuff. So, like, you had a good balance of someone on your team to help you make the moves that you should have done. And they supported you in that. And not even knowing the path, but knowing the path was happiness. That's not an exact path, right? But it is the right way to start. And the rest, life has a funny way of working itself in what you manifest what you look for, regardless of what that is. Because that can go down a dark path. You could do some very bad stuff and go down a negative path.
True.
Like, because you manifest that. But once you realize, man, this isn't important, that isn't important. What people say about my life, whether my life is right or wrong, that's me. Like, those are all my choices.
Let out.
Like, I can have 100 people disagree with me, but it doesn't matter because it's my happiness. Like, that's what it comes down to. So that's the path you want to take, is the happiness, not the salary, not the money, not any of that stuff. Not everybody realizes that, though.
When I tell everybody, they don't make twin caskets.
Wow, that's deep.
Nice.
Like, real shit, like they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I go to lay it down, I'm going to have to go lay it down with the thoughts and the decisions that I made.
Yeah.
There it is.
Flat out.
Yeah.
So
you live with it. You shoulder that weight regardless of what other people can see or don't see, because there's a lot of people walking around with smiles that have a lot of weight on them. And they can't, they've dug so deep in that path, they don't understand. They don't know how to get out of it. They don't know what else to do. If I leave this job, there's not another job that pays as much as this job.
Flat out.
Like, what? Like, go get another job that doesn't pay as well as that job and be happy.
There it is.
And life, like, we're only here for a short amount of time, all of us.
Bingo.
And we're all going to go. You're going to give that up for currency, for some kind of money to trade in for other? What do you need that the currency is getting you? And some people don't realize that, though. And some people will continue down that path. And so that I heard you saying your soul got crushed, like you were like it wasn't what you wanted in life, right? And so you veered off. You made a good decision with that. Yeah.
I advise anybody, man, if there's a chance in your life and you even think you have the opportunity to take that leap of faith, man, just try it.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna hate yourself.
Take it
down the road.
Yeah.
Because you never know, that opportunity might not present itself again.
What a nasty regret.
Man. You don't want to regret that.
You know what the thing is, and I would say this all the time, that you can get another job. I guarantee you I can go right now and get a job, like, pretty much wherever. At a factory, in an office, in whatever. I guarantee you I can find another job.
Right.
Like that. So, like, your very worst case scenario, if you go out and try to do what you love and you fail, your worst scenario is you're back where you were in the beginning. Like, you're not even, like, it's not even, like, worst case scenario, you're back there.
Hey, look, it's
so
zero.
Go take
zero is
it.
not negative. Zero is zero.
Zero.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Negative is something else.
Yeah.
Zero is zero.
Yeah, man.
It's cool.
Me and my wife, we live off of just not going about things the traditional way. Not that we try to be untraditional, I guess, if that's the way to look at it. We just typically don't go by anything the route of because everybody else does. You know what I mean?
And and talking and digging into the traditions, right? You know, you have your traditional family, the man role, the woman's role, the mother, the father, the kids. Everybody has something to do. Everybody plays a role in there. Right. How with what you do, you're pretty much an entrepreneur. You're doing your own thing. How does that fall into what you do? Traditions. Do you follow tradition? Are there parts of traditions that you don't follow? How does that play into what you do?
You know what? You saying as far as like within the home?
Yes, within the home.
Me and me and my wife are both entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So it's more of we just work. that's the biggest thing. It's really just teamwork, you know.
There's a way better understanding since you're both entrepreneurs, because if there's
100%.
one entrepreneur and one 9 to 5, they're like, why are you, what is this? And they don't understand.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
They
An
have a
entrepreneur is
cutoff
not just
time.
like a cool, yo, I'm an entrepreneur, I sell stuff on, like, whatever it is. Nah, entrepreneurs work. Like,
It's
a lot
work.
of work. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to make a living off of it, you have to work.
Yeah.
It can't just be like, well, today I sold something. I'm
So
done.
yeah, so
Way to go.
even by that standard, you guys aren't traditional, because both of you guys are doing entrepreneur, and entrepreneur maybe is like cool right now, like, oh, it's so cool to be an entrepreneur, right? But like, it's not always, it hasn't always been the case, and I'm sure it'll fall off here in the future, and it'll be the same thing. We're like, oh, you're an entrepreneur, like, what does that mean?
Right.
You're like a made up like business guy, like,
Right.
what are you? Like,
It's great to be an entrepreneur when it works.
yes,
That's the coolest title.
Right.
But no, man, it's like a person that's growing their hair out, you know, especially like black dudes. Like, we know, like, if you go from a regular cut and you're trying to get braids, that whole nappy fro period.
there's a whole time frame.
It's a process.
So
You know what I mean?
you
It's
got to
like,
go
what
through
the
that.
fuck?
It's got to look crazy before it looks
There's
cool.
no way around it. There's literally no way
At all.
around it. Yeah.
No way. You know what I mean? It's you got to trust in the process when
Yeah.
it comes to, like, as far as traditions. I mean, even down from, we got together in November of 2017. We were engaged February 16th of 2018. We were married the very next month.
Wow.
Oof.
And
Y'all was moving.
Yeah.
it wasn't, and of course, with me being who I am, with her being who she is in the city as well, it was common sense for us to have a huge wedding. It was, I mean, we were supposed to, all the bells and whistles. I mean, that's what people that are somebody, especially in this town, do. We said, nah, man, at the end of the day, think about it. Who's been there for us since we've been together? Who is actually going to be for us if we ever fall?
Yeah.
We all we got. So we going to invite literally 3-4 people with us. We going to go downtown. Did downtown, straight to the Bahamas.
We married.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We out here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we got
marriage is not a ceremony.
We got to go get
to spend a lot of money on and showcase to the world, hey, look at us, we're happy. That's not what marriage is about.
Yeah, man.
Not at all.
No,
so
big,
I like your plan better.
big wedding dress.
Let's
and
get it done and
tuxedos.
go. Yeah.
Nah, we both threw on Tommy Hilfiger and went got married.
Oh, man,
that
that's
was,
nice,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Dope.
Like we
And that's true to your styles.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, we both have street background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to do just to operate with, my teammate, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's the illest feeling, and it gives so much understanding when it comes to how the traditional, mom should do, female should do this, the man should do this.
Yeah.
Right.
It literally, we can communicate without talking. I can just see how her work schedule is for the day and know where I need to insert certain things on my end for the house to move efficiently, and vice versa.
Crucial.
We just know.
Crucial.
We're aware of each other's schedules, what we have going on, the amount of time that it may take to do so, just so we know where one of us can pick up the slack, and we're not looking at each other to ever have a reason to have a problem. That's why when we tell people that we don't fight, people think that, people think we're lying.
Yeah.
We literally don't argue.
Yeah.
Like, at all. We communicate, and it's just all about
That's
knowing what's going on with this person and where are their stress points at, what's bothering them, what can I do to help, and do it without taking an initiative is a big thing. Instead of always waiting for someone to come to you and address things, try to do whatever you can to just wake up and make everybody, spouse, kids, whoever around you happy. And as long as you try, that's all you can do.
That's awesome. Hey, communication is a big deal, and like you
Huge.
said, you guys don't argue. And there are a lot of couples that like argue, but I think there's a lot of people who don't understand communication, and so when you bring up something, they see it as an argument.
Yes.
And it's like, no, I'm communicating to you that this makes me feel this way or this is happening. And then instead of getting like, when you do that, you're expressing how you feel. You expect, oh, well, this is this or this is that. And some people see it as, why you always arguing? Like, why are you fighting?
Right,
And there's a major difference between communicating everything and just trying to fight about everything.
100%.
Yeah.
Communication is everything.
Everything.
Communication and trust as well. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know, man. Find you somebody. Not to say that everybody has to go find someone, because, for instance, with me, I didn't think I was going to get married.
No.
You
didn't think that?
I've known her since I was 15.
Oh, wow.
I've always known the woman she was. I've watched her.
You guys had history.
Yeah, like we've always been friends. She's one of the first women I've ever even had sex with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that long ago. And I've watched her through relationships, vice versa.
Yeah.
When I was going through that time period of not sleeping and all this and that, she was one of the people that would see I was on Facebook at 5 on Facebook Live or posting something at 6, 7 in the morning and would come to the agency and bring me a Red Bull.
Wow.
Would bring me lunch without me asking her anything.
That's dope.
I seen you was up all night again. Get some sleep and walk out. You
loser.
Know what I mean?
Loser.
Loser. It's messed up.
This is the crazy part. True story. The agency I can always thank for one thing.
Yeah.
When I was trying to get with her.
Wait, you were trying to get with her.
It's like one of those, we both knew that we liked each other, right?
Uh-huh.
But she kept spinning me. It was always something else going on.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference between a woman spinning you because she don't like you or a woman spinning you because they feel
ready.
like they're either not ready or they feel like they can fall extremely hard and they're scared of that.
Yeah.
I knew that's what I was for her. So I stayed persistent. It got to the point, though, to where I was just like, man, fuck this shit.
Right.
I'm cool.
Because you could that also could discourage you. You could
Yeah.
be like, you know what?
For real,
If you try, and you get the same,
do
it's
you
like,
know who I am?
Like, okay,
Hey, you know
never.
who I am? You know what I do?
The ego comes out, like, yeah.
Man, go that way.
Yeah,
Literally-
go that way.
She came into the agency one day, and I'll never forget it. She sat down, and I had Janae Akua just came out with a song. It was the Everywhere You Go joint had just came out, and I sent her the YouTube link to it. And she's basically saying, while we young, we should do something crazy, da-da-da. And I was just like, basically, like, let's take a chance. And she was just like, all right, I'm ready. Let's do it. And
She called you bluff.
Oof.
That wasn't a bluff. That's real.
Yeah.
the woman never spent, till this day, from that moment, literally, till this very day, we have never spent a single night apart.
Wow.
And we celebrate 4 years next month.
But here's
That's
the
awesome,
thing,
man.
though.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
4 years.
Man, you know what?
Congratulations.
Definitely, I
For
appreciate that.
long time, man. That's beautiful.
But here's the thing, and I hate to let me take a sip.
You gotta join in. He's like, hold on.
Not everyone is worth that risk.
No.
Oh, for sure.
No.
Boom.
Yeah.
Not
I agree.
everyone.
Yeah.
So you identify certain things about it that you was like, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Not to say that about Lil Wayne,
100%.
but I'm
Right.
going
Get
in.
out of here.
but
I hear you over there, man.
but not everyone, because you'll have some
Yeah.
females that be like, man, I'm giving you all the signs. What's
Yeah.
happening? And you're like, you're not the one.
You're not the
and
one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Because
Flat out.
That's a mature way of
right.
saying that. Not everybody does it in that mature way that you just did.
And guess what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could go so left.
and guess what? That could happen to me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I'm
that's
throwing
true.
all the signs,
Yeah.
and somebody can be like, "You're cool and everything, but you are not the one." And
Yes.
and that's
Yeah.
life.
That's true.
But sometimes you got to risk it all
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you recognize certain things in people, certain patterns, traits,
Yeah.
personalities.
Bingo.
You're like, you know what? This person is worth that effort.
Yeah.
You know what? And I think a lot of people don't take the time to really learn as much as they possibly can before they go and try to, throw all the chips on the table. Like, they'll really just deal with only the happy side of somebody, but they've never seen them when they get mad and how
Boom.
they are. When a person gets mad,
Yeah.
you'll see some shit in them
Unfiltered.
that you'll be like, whoa, wait.
Yep.
what the
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
People's happy and people mad are two total.
Yeah.
This is not the same person. In
No.
No,
People don't
no,
get
no,
that.
no,
Not
that's
at
something
all.
else.
You know what I mean? So I advise all people, man, when you're dating or whatever, even if everything is the most perfect and the most blissful shit in the world, man, see how they are when they're mad and how do they give you a chance to explain yourself?
Yeah.
Do they get a
So
chance to hear you
When
out?
they're in the middle of something, turn off the Wi-Fi and see how they react. That's when the anger
He's
comes
on
out.
to something.
He's on to something. Let me ask you
It's
this.
like,
Take their
Oh,
car and don't
look.
put gas in it.
Ooh.
Let me ask you this: as we're getting,
That one scares
obviously
me.
I'm older than both of you, but you guys are still
You
fairly
are?
young. Yeah, man, I'm out there.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: who do you go to for advice when there's going to be times where you feel like, damn, I honestly don't know what to do? Who's your go-to person?
If there was
And I have to say, probably outside of your wife, because your
has to-
wife
yeah,
is
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're obviously you're like your go-to person.
Yeah.
Like
We all need that because we can't solve all the problems. There's always that one moment when
but
you're
we
like,
don't all have that. Like I can't tell you right now someone specifically that I go
You
to.
don't?
No. I try not to have the problems, you know what I mean? But I think we all reach a breaking point where we're like, man, like I need to tell somebody.
It's
like,
only
it's
only normal
You
for
know
these things
what?
to happen.
It's crazy because I literally everything in my life to this point has all been trial and error. It was no
That's
advice.
great. Yep.
No.
What are
That's
your
crazy.
thoughts on that? Should you have a person? Should your children, God forbid, you're not
Yes.
around, they should have someone they could, an uncle, an older cousin, a grandpa, or something.
No.
You know what I mean? A neighbor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? A pastor, whatever.
I would love for them to. Me and my wife both, we try to. Man, we every day, like they even get on us sometimes because they're like, oh my God, here they go with teaching again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause and as kids, they don't get it. They don't
They don't-
understand
they
the
don't.
possibility
Yeah,
of
yeah.
you know
It-
being without one
yeah.
of us or
It's understandable that they don't understand at that age. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me myself individually, no, me and my parents weren't close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was all literally trial and error. I pray. I pray a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not a religious guy, but I pray a lot. You know,
Okay.
long story short.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but it's really like, you know what? Either it's gonna work or it's not. But a lot of everything that I do in life all comes from confidence and in the fact of knowing at the end of the day, no matter how dark or fucked up this shit is gonna get, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Under any
that
stuff.
confidence
Good
is
stuff.
Under
something else.
any
Good stuff.
circumstance.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So even if this shit goes, this decision I make goes totally left, I just learned never to do that shit again. So at least I know I'm still winning in the fact of I'll never make that mistake again.
Good.
I
So-
love your outlook. I have to say I have a very
pretty cool.
similar outlook.
Thank you.
I
It's pretty cool.
feel like no matter what, you can't lose. You can only learn.
Flat out.
Like you just learn, even like when, and there's times it's gonna hit all of us where we just feel like we're like, oh shit, we fucked up.
Right. Of
Like
course.
we
Of
fucked
course,
up.
of
Like we
course.
shit.
Hell yeah.
And like and everything gets blocked off, and you're kind of like And even in those moments, I'm like, shit, I know everything's gonna be all right, but right now this sucks. Like this is
Right.
like completely sucks. But there's that seed that is planted in my head that I've had for like a long time. That it's
Right.
like, I'll get out of this. I know I'll
sure.
get out of this. I don't know how right now. I can't
Right.
see it. I'll figure it out eventually. But like I'm gonna get out of this.
Right.
And I think
100%.
it's crucial to hold on to that no matter what. Like,
For
because
sure.
the only thing that we can't fix in life is death. Like, aside from that,
That's facts.
there's a fix for everything. Even if it's not the fix that you want.
Mhm.
Even if it's not exact. Sometimes we get what we need and not what we want in life.
Yeah.
And so
Yes,
sometimes we're
true.
faced in
Yes.
situations where we're like, dang, dude, I really thought that was going to work out. And then some years pass, right? And you're like, I'm so glad that didn't work,
Right.
so that this worked. But that whole years, whatever amount of time, you don't realize
Right.
how much of a blessing it was that did or didn't happen,
Straight up.
and that the outcome came to something completely random, completely different, but it was supposed to be that way all along.
You know what?
It's hard to see.
I used to always ask, like, I just used to always wonder myself, like, why is all of this bad stuff happening to me? You know what I mean? From literally almost everybody I've been close to, like
Yeah.
dying and
Yeah.
incarceration and just everything. You know what I mean? Just it was always like being homeless.
Yeah.
It was always like, yo, how is this happening?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, why? And now I get it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm even with music. Music isn't what I'm here to do. Music is my tool to be able to get the support of so many, so then I can speak to motivate and help people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
right.
what I'm really here for.
Music
Yeah.
is a carriage.
You know what I mean?
You feel that?
That's all it is. That's the 100. That's just the
It's a
tool.
vehicle.
To
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets you there. It
Yeah.
gets you
That's
there.
all it is. Because
We all use different vehicles for it. Yeah. Some of us don't have the ability to do it through
Bingo.
music. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And and that's something that for the past couple of years, which I actually don't talk about a whole lot via social media because I don't really try to big it up too much. But I've been doing motivational speaking at, I spoke downtown at the Juvenile Detention
Pretty cool,
Center.
man.
I speak at some of the Toledo public high schools. You know what I mean? Just to holler at the youth, because a lot of times, I don't know if y'all remember, like y'all used to have them school assemblies. They'll bring some dude in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
Somebody from somewhere that has no idea what's going on in your environment and try to tell you how to be successful. And you just be sitting there looking like, what's going on here?
You have no idea.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm a person that you see. You might even hear stories about me being from the streets, from my past, or just different things that I was into once upon a time, and see that I was able to transition and be able to go to television, go to magazines, and be around all these stars and all of this, you know what I mean, and be able to live my life now how I want to.
Yeah,
I can literally,
it's a blessing, man.
Me and my wife literally can wake up every single day and do whatever we want.
Yeah, nice.
At any given moment.
Very nice.
It took so much to get there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But to be able to do so, it's a blessing. And I want to be able to share that with people, like how you touched on, being somewhere that's great. Ultimately, you know what I mean. But your spirit not being into it, and you having to make that decision to leave. Everybody doesn't have the courage to do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not everyone's built the same way. Everyone has their own path that they have to walk down. Something that you touched on earlier is people being at the previous jobs that you had before, and they're content and happy with that. Yes. And I have that center. I've had a lot of jobs throughout my life, and I know that there are still, and I still talk. I'm a big talker, so I talk to a lot of people at my previous job, and they're content where they are. Yeah. And I think that is the right path for them. Like and here's the thing: you can't hold judgment against them because your path was different. My path, I cannot work there anymore. And somebody who's there, that's not against you. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the right path for 100%. You. Like, take that path. You should do what you. Everyone has their own path to walk. It's up to them. Again, I think the root cause should be happiness. Mm-hmm. If you're happy working 40 hours a week, 80, 120 hours a week, whatever it is, do that. Like, and be happy with it, and forget what everybody else says and the people that walk away from it. Forget all of that. Bingo. Even if I'm one of the people that walked away from, forget me. This is my life. Like, do that. That's what I want for people. And so when you say, like, to motivate people or to talk to people in that way, like, at the end of the day, that's really what I want to. Like, everyone should follow their own path. Yeah.
You got to.
And it's not everyone can come to that realization, though. Some people think and get caught in the trap of society thinks I have to do this, or I have to follow these traditions, which some traditions are made from legit bullshit. Like, legit, like, oh, they did this for 100 years, so I have to do this for 100 more years. And, like, they don't. There's no reasoning behind it. It's just a tradition that's very meaningless, and times change, man. So, like, who we are now, 2022, right now is a very different time than even 2000, Y2K, when, like, pre-internet, or before that, pre-internet, when we're, like, before things ultimately change, so you can't be following a tradition based on we have to do these things, we have to make this amount of money, we have to do whatever. Ultimately, everybody has their own path to come down to happiness. And then when you find that, like, okay, so for me, I worked in a factory for a long time. I worked in call centers. I've worked at the agencies. I'll just call them agencies. That's code name for, like, any job that I don't want to mention. I worked at the agency. We're not the feds. Yeah, we're not the feds, but I worked at the agency. And I was not happy. And I ultimately, it took that, and it took all my trials and errors to get to, I do real estate, same team as Charlie Mack right now, like, that's doing my thing. Like, I absolutely love it, and I've never been happier, but it took a lot of different steps for me to get where I'm at.
For sure.
And then when you get there, the best part is trying to share that with other people, man. Like, legit, like, it can because like, it can happen to anybody. It's a mental state more than it is anything else.
For sure.
It's about knowing that that's an option. And the more people that know that, like, the better it is overall for everybody. Happiness is the end game for all of us.
It should be. It's been a very awesome interview, man. I just love we touch on issues of relationships, career, happiness, just doing what makes you happy, traditions. But I want to ask them.
Go for it.
Fatherhood. What does fatherhood mean to you? Now you told me that you met.
That was a
biological
tough
father.
question, by the way. Man,
Because-
this
'cause
man.
cause
You dropped a whole universe
he
on the
talked
man.
about his biological
Yeah.
father meeting him.
Oh,
and
you know
happened.
what?
Fatherhood, because
That was a
I'm a
great
father.
question.
That's
He's
a
a father.
great
like,
question.
Great question.
And we're gonna have a lot. They told me that this is gonna be mainly made up of women watching us.
Is that right?
Whatever.
What?
But
Hi.
I don't know. But I know for a fact. I know for a fact we have a lot of fathers.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Hey, babe.
he loves you. I can tell.
Look, we talked like 30 minutes about that. Like,
right.
yo,
No,
ain't no worries there.
I know-
Ain't no worries there.
wifey's the
Yeah.
coolest.
I know
Wifey's
for
the
a
coolest.
fact. I know for
Oh.
a fact we're gonna have a lot of fathers watching, a lot of single fathers, a lot of young.
100%. Yeah.
So this is the moment,
Yeah.
and I would like to culminate the interview on this thought. I want to know, what are your thoughts on fatherhood? What do you think? How does that had affected you through growing up? What everything you went through with your pops, and now that here you are, you're a father. What does that mean?
Fatherhood saved my life. It was my initial first step to get out the streets. I was I'm not going. For as much as I can say, I was in deep. You know what I mean? And I knew after I had my first child that any going further, she might be without a dad. You know what I mean? Me and my dad growing up didn't have the greatest of relationships at all. The man that I grew up as knowing as my dad.
Yeah.
And who is still my dad today.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Let's
yeah,
not ever get it
yeah,
twisted.
yeah,
My
yeah.
biological father is the man who passed. I
Right.
found him later in my life. But fatherhood, man, it just it's my greatest joy, my greatest headache at times.
1,000.
You know what I mean? It's everything. It's that motivator to, continue to go
It's the engine.
hard no matter what. You know what I mean? Every time you get tired but you got to keep going, and just it's my reason to want to be a better human overall. Like I've never wanted to show so much love outside of my house until I became a father, because the more love I can show outside of my home will affect other families that will be around for when I'm not, but my kids are.
There it is.
So if
That
I
was
can
deep, by the way.
affect the community around, even if it's just a single, hey, how are you doing if I walk in this store today? You know what I mean? This might be a store that one of my kids frequent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That energy transfer can lead to
There
them
it is.
beginning to say the same thing to other customers that come around that might bump into my daughter one day.
Yes.
I try to think, even though like we were talking long game, it could be something that people could be like, yeah, but what's the chances of? My whole life is, what's the chances of?
Oof.
Deep.
So
Deep,
to
deep,
know
deep.
that now this can all come back full circle, and my kids are in this world now. We see how the violence and things are around. We can't act like we don't know what's going on.
100%.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
We love Toledo 100%. We're from here.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But we also recognize what we don't want our children to be around or have to go through. But unfortunately, there's going to be times that we're just not going to be there.
True.
Yeah. There's no way around it.
And as much as I can do to put in positive energy throughout the universe while I'm here to make a better place for them, even if it's not me giving it to them directly, that's all I'm here to do. But of course, I shower my kids, man. Especially in my house, we have all girls. So now, we have 5 girls in our house. So
That's got to be tough.
I mean, so
That's a whole
I
nother
wouldn't know,
conversation. We're not
yeah,
going to get
I
into
got
that.
them
Yeah,
sons.
it's a whole nother one.
15, 14, 13, 12,
Oh
2.
wow.
Oh,
wow.
wow. Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to my son. He lives with his mother.
Mm.
So it's all women in the house. Our cat is even a girl.
Even the cat.
Dead serious. Shit's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's just one of
Yeah.
those having to, when I was a young guy, every chick that I would go see as a teenager or I was doing mischievous things with,
Right.
Yeah.
it was all because the opportunity was there to do so.
Yeah.
There it is.
Parents weren't there.
Yep.
Father wasn't in
Yeah.
her life.
Yeah.
I was able to hit her with all kinds of game and sometimes maybe even take advantage mentally over.
Yeah.
As a young
True.
man.
Yeah. at that young age, what else is there? What else is there?
Feelings and getting into.
You're not. There's no long term there. There's in the moment back then. Yeah,
exactly.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those now. Being a father, especially having so many young ladies in my house and that's looking up to me as their leader.
Yeah.
It's everything, man. I try to preach as much love as I can.
There it is.
I love it, man.
As much discipline as I can, and just try to help them in every way that I can. They're literally all different, each and every one. They're nowhere near the same.
Yeah.
Personality-wise. But me and my wife, I think we do the greatest job of giving them everything that we didn't have. You know what I mean? And it's just that and I know you guys can agree. It's just that feeling that you know that as they get older, it's just certain shit. No matter how much game you give them,
right?
How much you preach
and
pour into their cup, they're gonna make whatever decisions they choose
what they're gonna do.
Yep.
So all we can do is hope and pray that they do the best. But I'm gonna make sure that I can sleep at night knowing, like, damn.
I believe that if we lay the foundation, they're gonna go and venture out, but the foundation is there.
Flat out.
People always come back to that foundation. But if you don't take the time to lay the foundation, there's nothing to come back to.
Flat out.
People get lost in the sauce.
Just hearing what you've said, I think you can sleep super easy at night, man. I love what you're doing, man. And just to branch off of that, everything affects everything.
I agree.
Everything. So when you're talking about going into the convenience store and saying hello and saying this and smiling, holding the door open for somebody, a simple nod, strangers in the street, I would literally just a nod like that is like, oh, somebody noticed me. Somebody knew. All those things affect everything in this world, and putting out as much positive energy into the world as you can. Like it comes back. I promise you, it comes back around, and that's not even something that you can calculate or see how it works.
Right.
It just works, and I think that's super awesome what you're doing.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I respect it 100%.
Thank you so much.
I have nothing more to say on that.
I like that point.
Absolutely.
I like that point that you just made. A lot of people go by the results they can see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no clue where the end result is going to be with this positive energy that I give out or that you guys give out, but I know it's going to land somewhere.
Right.
And I believe in the universe possibly running that back my way, but I'm also not. You got people who do things for good karma.
You did something. You did something in a little bar that a year later somebody was still watching you. Yeah. Somebody was still watching you and resulted in a culmination of things that got you on TV.
Changed my life.
And changed your life completely. You didn't know that was happening. No. And it goes back to what you were doing there was putting in the work. Even when it's fun, you were putting in the work. People notice, and it's something that if you just put it in and you keep putting that out into the world, it comes back around. There's no way to measure it. There's really not. You didn't know that doing that in that little bar was going to do everything that it did. 100%. And that's how you should live your daily life, is just putting in 100%. The positive energy. And I promise you, again, there's no calculation for it. You don't need to get exact numbers on it. 100% guaranteed it will work and it will come back around. It's a beautiful thing to see.
You said that right.
Well, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I just have final thoughts.
That's how I wanted to. Please tell me.
This has been a beautiful podcast. What a way to kick off 2022.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah.
Did you guys? Am I the first?
You're the very first one.
You're the first. We're kicking it up.
You're the very first one back.
We're doing it big.
Wait, you know what? Yeah. So this is gonna drop a little later, correct?
This will drop next week.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I guess I can let the cat out the bag then.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
I've also just been named Toledo City Paper's Best Hip Hop Artist for the Best of
Wow! Congratulations, man.
And
congratulations.
I was told I couldn't say anything until, March after the 1st.
Man, shit.
But this will be.
We'll make sure that this drops after. I got you. Salud.
Thank you, man.
Great news.
Appreciate that. This is my third or fourth time winning that. So which is pretty cool. And I'm back to music full time.
Love it.
I take even the biggest and smallest victories as the same.
Man, you have to.
So it shows me
you
that
have to.
It just feels so. It feels so
Hell
good to be
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I poured into
Love
my
it.
family, and shout out to my wife. Customsfortheculture.com is my
There
wife's
it is.
website.
There it
If you
is.
want to figure out anything you need, customized, anything,
There it
customsfortheculture.com.
is.
Go check that out. I had
Check
to
it
plug
out.
her one time because
We'll link it below.
We'll
So
link it
anybody
below.
check out the links below. Everything will be tagged in there so that you can check it out yourself.
there we go. Customsfortheculture.com. I mean, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't have her in my corner. So
Love
shout
it.
out to my wife, 100% Kennedy Williams, and we roll with it like that, man.
There
Love
it
it,
is.
man. I appreciate it. Francisco, any
Yeah,
last
so,
words
yeah,
you want
so,
to
you know,
tell us
it
here?
was a beautiful podcast. We spoke about a lot of issues. Oh man, I feel for real enlightened.
You didn't tell me
with
where you got your shirt from. I'm so sorry. to
We'll
hear
talk
that.
about that after.
We'll
All
talk
right, we
about
can't
my
let
shirt
everybody
after.
know.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You were enlightened.
Yeah.
You were enlightened.
I was
Sorry.
enlightened just to hear how many people for real understand and have a good grasp on the concept of life. And just sitting here with my boy B Wills, man, and just watching them grow, man, it's been a blessing for me. Let me tell you that right now.
Thank you.
For me personally, just having to talk to him right now, and it just we talked about relationships, the importance of relationships, the importance of sharing the same vision in a relationship and equal partnership. That was a beautiful thing. We talk about fatherhood, which we do not talk about a lot as we should in our communities. Fatherhood is very important. We have to continue the conversation because the children, I know it sounds cliche-ish, are the future. And we also talk about following your dreams, taking that risk. Not everybody's ready to do it, but when you feel like you're ready to take that risk, take that chance, go follow your dreams. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a beautiful evening hanging out with y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. This
Likewise.
was awesome. The drinks were good.
Yeah.
The
Everything
conversation was
good.
awesome.
Phenomenal.
Salud.
Salud.
And God
Back at
bless
you.
everybody, for real.
All
Cheers
the
for
way down
Toledo,
there.
yo.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you watching. Have a good night, guys.